Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Anything Liverpool. Can I just say we've won a football game? Isaac has scored. We've not conceded a goal. Life is good. For one, I think we deserve that. For one afternoon, we can finally have a match reaction and we say we've won a game. We've won 3 points. That's amazing. I'm here joined by West and Drew to discuss our win. If you're new, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the in the what the, as well in the chat. I wanted to say that
What's
was
up with the wind now?
yeah.
The wind got you drunk or something, Mia? What's going on?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm just way too excited, as you can see. I have to be honest. I've played my free hit in FPL, and I had both Isaac and Cody Hakpo on my free hit. So what can I
wow.
say? Some of us know
Wow.
no game. Some of us no game. But yeah, it's more than one layer for me. It's not only the Liverpool win, but the players that I have performing. So yeah. Um. All right. Well. So yeah, make sure to leave your comments in the chat as well. I got it. Because we obviously love to kind of hear your thoughts for today. West, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's kind of decent. A win, I never know that the win can feel like this. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I was thinking of popping a beer right now if we lost, but then now I'm gonna put it in the fridge. I'm happy. Yeah, it's a good win.
It's crazy how much this determines our mood, by the way, because it's, I you either get a moody me for the rest of the weekend or like you know I'm cool. I'm okay. Right, Drew, how about you?
I'm feeling good. 6 o'clock a.m. game for me. I think I was texting the group yesterday. I was like, God can't be that cruel to me. Like he's usually throws me a bone when I have to get up early. So it's a very slow first half. 0-0 though. I was appreciative of the clean sheet at halftime.
Can I think I'm not exactly sure what's happened. We might have lost. Is it my connection or is it you guys? Because I don't know what's going on. Um. All right, Drew, can you hear us, mate? Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Sorry about that. We seem to be having some technical difficulties, but we'll get it. We'll get it sorted. I hope. All right. So, West, can you give us your thoughts on the game?
I thought of the game. It was an okay game. At this point, yeah, at this stage, I just said, you know what, just get a win. I don't care about the performances. I don't need let people perform. I just get a win now. At this point now, it's about pride now. You must have self dignity now. Just win. So I was kind of happy we got the win. The performance, I like the performance because we were more compact, clean sheet, and yeah, it's kind of a win that we needed. I hope it kickstarts our campaign. But then yeah, it's just a normal win, just a day out. What's going on with you now? Is he too excited that we won? What's going on?
It seems like his internet is his connection is not that stable. I don't know what he did. Spilled some beer because of celebrating. I don't know on his whole equipment, but yeah. Um, the one thing that I'm really well, let's say, excited with is that we've actually shown some spirit today. I think, especially in the way we defended. I think, especially towards the end of the game. Obviously, West Ham didn't really create that much, but that's mainly because of us as well. I think we've been really solid, defended really well. Um, yeah. So, uh, here's to all the slot out clowns. Well, yeah. It's it's been a quite divisive.
Don't make me sway this.
It's been quite a divisive topic, to be fair, in our fan base. But hopefully, we're gonna win a few more games now, win a few games in a row, put that all behind us, because it really didn't do anyone any good. So it's good to thanks once again for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I think for me, as I said, the most important thing is that we finally shown a bit of spirit. I think it wouldn't have taken that much to beat West Ham because obviously they're pretty bad at the moment. So for us to go there, get a clean sheet, get a win, a fairly comfortable win, I would say, is it means a lot in this moment, in this situation, with what we've done in the past few weeks and the form that we've been in. So yeah, West, a first, I think, goal in the Premier League for Isaac. Welcome back, Drew. Good to have you with us. I was just telling West, I think, what are you? You're having some beer. You spilled some over your equipment. Is that why you're having issues?
Coffee this early in the morning. I have no idea what's going on, but should be good now. Maybe a reflection of a Liverpool win. My laptop's so surprised that we're turning things around. But what was your question, Mia?
Yeah, I was. Well, yeah. Let's start with you then. I was about to ask you about Isaac and his first Premier League goal for us, I think. So quite a clean finish. Quite it seems like it kind of we kind of see what we've been missing. I think, especially last season. Well, not last season. 2 years ago. Sorry, when we came in third. Um, we do have great finishers in this squad. Obviously, we have created quite a lot of XG can convert, but that's another issue. Today, it seemed like it was fairly comfortable. Isaac finally scores. Good performance from him. What do you think that is going to mean for him going forward?
I think it's a huge step forward for him. Like, we all know his quality and that he can finish. Like, he scored a ton of goals for Newcastle. There's a reason his price was so high. Like, that's the market for that, one of the best strikers in the world in that regards. And, obviously we haven't seen that this season, but it also makes sense because he hasn't played that much. He didn't have the preseason, like all of those factors in, and it's hard to like get someone up and running when they're just playing a bit here, bit there. So I think that goal really represented like what he's about, and that's just strong finishes, like just getting the ball in the back of the net. He had a couple attempts. I think one was blocked by Areola when he did that, swung a boot at it, and then the first shot I think he took went like way into the stands. But you know, that's a shot that you wouldn't back many players to finish, and it was almost in the back of the net, like before you knew it, and he was away celebrating. So I think it's a good marker of what the best of Isak can bring, and when he's match fit and at the top of his game, I think he's going to be a very scary player for oppositions to face.
Absolutely fair, and I think it's pretty much the same way with most of the newcomers. I think we've seen a few players being a bit more disciplined today. I think you've seen that side to our game where in the past few matches, I think we were. I think we kind of lacked a bit of discipline defensively, and it's kind of showed. I mean, we did have a fair share of bad luck, I think, with the score lines. I think we really shouldn't have conceded that many goals against City, Forest, PSV, but it's all in the past now. So yeah, West, are you here with us? I wanted to ask you about Isaac, but it seems like I can't get the two of you here together.
I'm here. I'm here.
There he
Yeah,
is.
I'm here.
All right. So I wanted to ask you about Isaac and his performance today.
He's perform. You see, first half, man, I felt like first half he was a bit off it, you know. The ball, like the first touch. That's my opinion in it. So, but then second half, I think he played well. That is a great finish. I hope this can kickstart him. But then for me personally, I think we will see Isak properly next season. I think now he can get the goals, the 1-2 goals. But then I think we'll see a fully proper Isak with the preseason next season. For now, he's gonna be there and about. But then, like, I'm actually happy that he scored his first goal. It's about time he scored. But then, yeah, I just hope this kicks him on for the game against Sunderland.
Yeah, hopefully we could get a run in now for him and for the team as well, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. But yeah, 3 points. We finally won a game. One interesting thing that I wanted to talk about. Well, actually, let's get. Should we get with the thoughts on our game? I just want to talk about Salah, Mo Salah being dropped for today. It's been coming, and I think it's been coming for a while now. I think he should have been dropped a while sooner. Obviously, I think it's difficult for him to work with Isak on the pitch as well. We've kind of discussed this in the past as well. Not a whole lot of pressing going on with that front three. So with them in the front three. So it's been coming, and with the fact that we knew that Ekitike was probably not going to start. Um, i if you had to start one of Isak and Salah, I think Salah made the correct decision. And with the scoreline and with this goal scorers, I think you can see that that was the fact. So, Drew, we didn't really miss Mo Salah today, did we?
No. And I think that can be said for a lot of games, even in the past, but he always would pop up with that crucial goal or that crucial assist. Like that was Salah's game. Like I feel like it was, a random game where he'd blitz it from start to finish, but he could ghost games and then come up with the most important goal that you need. And that's, why, especially last year, he didn't play as much defense. But this year it just hasn't clicked. For whatever reason, he hasn't been at his best and he hasn't really recovered. He's certainly had enough chances to play himself back into form, and it seems like the only option really at this point is to bench him and then give him some minutes off the bench and see if that reignites him. But it's been writing on the wall for a while that Salah needed to be dropped, unfortunately. And it's nothing like it doesn't tarnish his legacy. It doesn't mean he's a horrible player. It's just like it's not going right for him at the moment. But the Isak and the Mo Salah, like we've all talked about that in the chat. It's like they're two players who don't really drop back. Isak versus Ekitike, where Ekitike will drop back more and get involved. So if you have two players like waiting for the ball to get to their feet first, it kind of detracts from real. You can't really have two people up top like that. And then, if things aren't going well, just wait for them to get the ball. And especially with Mo, it wasn't really working. So it's not a surprise that he's benched. And this really, Isak was a signing for the future too. It was like now and the future. So I think we're really seeing that, like in today's game, this is the transition year, and it's still going to be choppy, but we need to get the big money signings working, and Salah at the tail end of his career, if that means he's benched to incorporate the new signings into the team, like he needs to take that as a leader and find his next evolution at his career at Liverpool.
Yeah, it's well, you could have made an argument for Chiesa to start as well, but apparently Slot's just never going to do that. So with the front three that we had, I think I'm still not completely satisfied with the intensity showed. It's one of the things that apparently have been a struggle for us this season. But as you said, Drew, I think the most important thing that we need to kind of get our heads around is the fact that at the end of the day, Isak, Wirtz, Ekitike, pretty much all of these players that we've signed are for the future. For them to, if they come in and they smash it from the get-go, then that's great. But things are rarely happening like that. So you kind of have to be patient with them. So yeah, West, we've been talking about Mo Salah being dropped for a while now. Finally, he was, and we won a game. Probably not necessarily let's say a causation between the two, but at the end of the day, it looked like we can play football without Mo Salah, and we can play really well.
Yeah, yeah, we can. Like for me, like Salah's legacy, I always fight Salah's battles. I don't care what people say. I rate Salah, but at this time and point, this drop has been coming. As Drew said, like this drop has been calling its name for a long time. The bench has been calling him for a long time, and they keep persistent with him. So I'm happy that Slot dropped him, but then I think at this point Slot was trying to save his job. I think he saw the problem. He's like, let me take Salah off because as Drew said, two players that don't track back, Salah and Isak. You can't have two players because then we're playing like when teams attack us, they attack us from Salah's side. And like that's where we get killed the most. Today we had everyone playing for the team besides Isak, but then Isak scored for us. I'm not saying Isak was bad, but then like most of the time when we watch Liverpool, it's always Isak and Salah up there, and then everyone is defending. And we see their centre backs coming now a half, you know. So this drop has been coming from a long time. I'm not saying I'm tarnishing Salah's legacy, but then Salah has to look at himself in the mirror. Tell me what like he has to elevate his game, you know. So like to be honest, so like for me, like Salah, I always rate his legacy. I always rate his consistency. But then now you have to look at yourself now, and I hope that he doesn't cause any fuss. I hope he takes it up the chin because now there's no point of you like fighting, but then your promises don't match your arguments. So yeah, like I hope Sunderland is also in the bench too, but then we'll see by the manager.
All right. There we go. Welcome, Ben, on the stream as well. Topics were basically, we finally won a game around that, basically. But mainly, the last two players that we've discussed were Isak and Mo Salah, obviously for different reasons today. Isak with his first goal in the Premier League for us, Mo Salah being dropped and ending with us winning a game. And one more interesting thing is that Mo Salah was dropped, but then he also didn't come on, which I think that kind of shows that Slot means business. I haven't mentioned it until this far, but one thing that I liked today when I saw that lineup was that Slot's finally willing to change things up. Like we weren't 100% sure how we're gonna shape up, and I think that's a pretty positive thing, especially with how the last few weeks have been going. So, Ben, your thoughts on the game, on Isaac, on the Salah decision?
Well, if anyone who watches the streams know I've been very vocal about Salah being dropped along with Stephen. We've been fairly vocal about that and our thoughts on that, saying he's kind of the main problem. So I'm not surprised that he's dropped and all of a sudden we look solid defensively. So we've not got a net negative on the right hand side of the pitch. And Isak played well because he was playing with birds, because we saw this Atletico worked very well. And for some reason we barely saw again.
I think one player that we could mention a bit more for today was Florian Wirtz, who again was, in terms of his passing, in terms of distribution, in terms of how he reads the game, he once again showed why he was one of the best players on the continent or even in the world last season for Leverkusen. So yeah, West, if I were to ask you to name three players who impressed you today, who would you choose?
I think besides Soboslot, but I think it's Florian Wirtz. I liked Gomez's performance, and for a change, this game, McAllister also.
Could you expand on that a bit?
Oh, oh. Nah, you see Florian Wirtz, yeah. I think yeah, Florian Wirtz works well with Isak. I'm sure like you see the problem with that partnership is that he hasn't played together that often because either Wirtz is injured or Isak is out. So now if Sunderland, I hope to see it, maybe they will generate goals. And McAllister, the way he was popping the park, moving the ball, tackling, the way he got his aggression that he lost. Like was I felt like McAllister was probably more a liability in the past few games, but this game he actually stepped up the performances. And Gomez, I haven't seen Gomez in a while. People say Gomez is injury prone, but then like that's a right back you have to play now. Like I want to see Gomez in the next game. I can't now go back to Sunderland and I see Curtis Jones there. At this point now, you like the manager also like I have to look at you sideways again. So now I was happy Gomez performance was like for a player who I haven't seen in a long time. Like he came up, he stepped up, he was winning his aerial duels and all sorts. And also one more Konate also when he was winning all the headers. I was actually happy with that. But then I just take it at one game at a time.
Yeah, I think Gomez's performance again, and the fact that he played was a pretty good decision, because I think we all kind of saw that we need Soboslai back in midfield, or at least up top. Wherever he is, we know he offers a lot in terms of his pressing and intensity, and I think that's we've seen that even in the last few matches, the ones that we've lost, we can kind of see that he's been our most active player, and it's it highlights what we've been missing. And I think with him playing as a right back, obviously he works if the other players work as well, if they're they're in good form, if they're performing well. But usually I think for us, having Soboslai in midfield just makes a whole lot of difference, and it kind of gives other players a bit more room on the ball. Drew, who impressed you today?
I think for me it was Verts and Gomez really that stood out in terms of pretty much like beating expectations or rising above what, like, I feel like Dom, I know what to expect from Dom, but seeing Verts back in the side for the first time in a little while after his little injury, had really brilliant flashes of moments. Still waiting for that final finished product in terms of his shooting. Like, there was that one chance that I think Gakpo set up for him. That was kind of a tame shot to the keeper, but like, he created probably another 3 or 4 chances for other players. Brilliant touches, brilliant flashes. And then Gomez, like, another thing was he played like the full 90 minutes. Who who would have thought that he could come in and last a full 90, and did it with amazing poise and composure. Um, Really, really impressive from him. I think that we've, as you've stated, like Sabaslai at right back, and West earlier, like Curtis Jones at right back. They don't probably want to be there. Maybe could fill in a game or two, but their natural kind of instinct is the midfield. So I think especially we've seen like the detraction from not having a defender at right back. And Slot, I think, said that in his pre-match conference that having 4 defenders was key. Definitely seemed more stable in the back. So I think that was like, when's the last time we've had a clean sheet? Um, that's a great foundation to build from in terms of that. We definitely risked chances. Like, it could have gone not well today, but it did, and you have to build from there. I think we've all said it at one point. It's like one game at a time, but I was very happy with Joe Gomez and Florian Wirtz's role today.
Fair enough. To be fair, now one of the things that I'm thinking is, will Joe Gomez play there again? The next, because we're playing again in what I think
Wednesday.
on Wednesday, yeah, and then again in the weekend, and yeah, it would have been great to have a few more players fit, but yeah. Ben, who impressed you today?
Kirkers. Well, I didn't catch the first half. I overslept. I won't lie. So I didn't see the first half. But I heard Kirkers was good, and I'm not surprised, because when I saw Gomez right back, I knew he'd perform or be better. I've been saying for the longest time that Kirkers needs freedom. It's why he excelled at Bournemouth. It's why we paid 40 million for him. And we didn't use him to his strengths up until today, clearly. And then obviously the obvious players, Verts and Szoboszlai. You expect Szoboszlai to perform well, but yeah, Verts, from what I saw and heard, played very well. I'll just have to say then. I can't say much about the first half.
Fair enough. I think defensively, I think pretty much we can commend the whole defensive unit, because today, as we've said, West Ham didn't really create that much, and that's down to us, down to our defensive players as well. We finally performed, finally kept a clean sheet, so we can praise them. Finally, we can praise them after conceding 10 goals in last week. But yeah, that's all over now. West, as mentioned, we are going to be playing again in 3 days, and then again in 3 days, and then again in 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Quite a difficult. We know that usually December, January, usually winter is a bit more fixture congested, and it's going to take us it's going to take a few more fit players going getting through that. So how do you feel about that game? About the next few games being this close to this one, and how do you see us lining up against Sunderland, for example?
See these games for me, it's learn to use your bench. That's my opinion. Use the bench, Like play the Endos, play the Chiesas. I don't know what Chiesa must do to start with Liverpool. Because Gakpo is not pulling cheese, to be honest. But then, yeah, I think like Liverpool just get wins at this point. I'm at this type of way where we just need to just get wins on the board. Like I don't care about performances. I don't care if games come 2 days a week. Just get wins now at this point because the amount of stuff we've seen in the past month or so. So I just want wins at this point. So I couldn't care less how many games we play a week. So just get the wins.
Yeah, unfortunately, we when I saw this run, I remembered at the beginning of the season, I thought, okay, we need to get through the first few games, and then we're gonna have a bit of an easier run. But at this point, Drew, Sunderland doesn't really seem like one of the teams that you can bully necessarily, because with them, it almost feels like they're the ones bullying other pretty decent teams when you look at it. Yesterday, I think they came after they won their games against Bournemouth after being 2-1 down. They obviously won at Stamford Bridge. They're now in top. They're still in top 6, 7, I think, still as we speak. So that's not going to be an easy game. Do you think Gomez will play at the right back again? Because if not, then who does?
Probably not. Just because this is the first 90 minutes he's played in I don't know how long. Maybe he starts like the first 60. I wouldn't bet on it. I don't know if Bradley would be ready. It's probably going to be Zoboslai, honestly. But yeah, I'm actually excited for this congested fixture list because I think that could be a really good momentum if we just, like what I said, just keep winning. Like, it doesn't matter how you do it, and then there's not much time to like think between games. You just have to play. Um, that really worked for us last year. I remember everyone like the way it went last year. It was like, well, they haven't played anyone yet. Oh, like let's see if they get through the big hard fixtures in like October, November, and then it's just like, well, let's see where they are by Christmas, and we just like steamrolled pretty much through most of those games. So I think that if they can pick it up, like if we get a win on Wednesday, that yeah, we all saw the table, like that could potentially put us back in the top four, and then we get a win on the weekend. That's like stuff that then it's like, okay, actually we're like this is a chance to just collect the wins however you do it. And I think that's how you build positivity and momentum. So I think it's just very much on board that everyone needs to get these wins coming forward, like 110%, that kind of thing. I mean, they know that, but like a win today and then a look at the table and what a couple wins in a row could mean for where we are in the table. I think that's huge, and I'm actually glad for these congested fixture lists because that's a chance to really push up again and build momentum. But I think that's with Joe Gomez. It's like kind of how West said, like rely on the squad. Like everyone who steps in, everyone who steps up and plays, like needs to put in that effort that gets us over the line and gets us 3 points. And I think that's gonna be the message and what we'll see.
Yeah, that's a really good point. To be fair, I think we have imagine getting 9 points within a week. It really changes things up because we've seen it. As you said, we've seen the table. It's still pretty close between fourth and 12th where we were before this game week. So, yeah, I think Ben, I don't know if you agree with me, but it feels like the Premier League's reverting a bit to what it was before, in the sense that you don't really have 3 or 4 teams that can really beat everyone else and keep a consistent run for that long. It seems like we've seen what Leeds did yesterday at City at the Etihad. We've seen what Sunderland did this season and how they're playing. It seems like we're playing Sunderland and Leeds we're playing Sunderland on Wednesday, Leeds on Saturday. You would think those games are fairly easy to win, but then when you look at the performances, doesn't really look like it, especially when you look at ours as well.
Yeah, that's just it's the Premier League for you, isn't it, really? It's twice the best league in the world. There's really not a thing. It's an easy game. Even Wolves, they aren't good, but they're not like they're not soft touches. They're gonna give you a game. They're gonna defend extremely hard. I mean, especially in the bigger games, in the games that they need to win. When they come to Anfield eventually on the 28th, I think it is. I'm not expecting an easy win. I'm expecting a hard fought battle again, where our creative players will have to take the initiative. Whether it's Isaac Katika, But I never thought I'd look at the start of the season and think, damn, Leeds might not be a winnable, might not be a win because Liverpool are just playing so badly overall, and we're not in the best momentum at the minute. I never thought I'd say, oh, if we can beat Leeds, then maybe we might get a bit of momentum to fight for the top four. What a hell of a season it's been.
Yeah, well, the next topic that I wanted to talk about, West, is now that we finally have a win under our belt, can we once again reassess the Arne Slot conversation? Because it has been hinted at the beginning of the stream with this comment that we've had. Can we maybe finally get to a point where we can give Slot until the end of the season before judging him any further?
What? End of the season. Like, we won today. That's okay. I'm happy. But like, let's not forget the performances we see. And 3-0 to Forest for me is still acceptable. Like, I'm not saying second now. But then, like, if it was up to me, go out on the win. Like for me, I'm still like pack your bags. Like I'm still not happy. Like 4-1 against PSV. Come on, like let's not act like those games just we were good in that game. These guys dog walked us. Not from Forest, Sean Dyche. They just lost to Brighton today. So now the team that's beaten us lost. So I couldn't care what people think. We win one game and then we must get kidding. Nah. He has to win more games. Like he still has to win more games for me. Like to be honest. And then I'll apologize. But at this point, I'm still winning. You know that, Mia.
Well, I really wanted to get your opinion on that because we've had the conversation, I think, a few times now in the last few weeks. I think what I'm really happy about with Slot today was the fact that he finally made a few difficult decisions in that starting lineup, and that kind of, showed me that I'm still, how'd you say, I'm comfortable still backing him, and I think it's, and on my side, it would be really really tough to get to a point where I can actually say that I want him to leave. I think he's still the man to kind of sort this mess out at the moment. Drew, what are your thoughts on that?
A bit of like I back him to get us out of this, but a bit more on like West in term of like there's a reason why we're not offering Slot a new contract right now. It's like he has to get us through this period. It's not like I wouldn't throw him in the fire or anything like that, but we did this last time where it's like we won one game and was it Villa and we're like we're back and then proceeded to lose like the next however many. I just don't think like sacking like I don't want it like that's not the situation regardless like even if if we lost the next two matches I wouldn't want to be in the situation like that'd be absolutely terrible to sack Slot like there's no good outcome of that. It's basically trying to salvage the season. I think like pundits, I don't know if it was Gerard or Carragher who said like untenable. I think that's where it comes into it. If we lose like the next couple of games, it's just like it's untenable in that regards of like Liverpool cannot not get Champions League this season. That's an absolute must top four. But I wouldn't put it down to Slot's fault like that. We're in this situation right now. I think this whole mess transition year. Don't want to beat the drum on the impact of Jota's death, but all these things put us in this situation. I said in like the chat, like I almost felt like we brought Slot in like a peacetime leader. like to lead us in a time of peace, and then like almost like war happened, and it's like he wasn't ready for that. No one was. Like the team wasn't ready. The supporters weren't ready for this chaos, and it seemed like Slot for a while just was grasping at straws, trying to fix this. But I don't want him sacked as like an outcome, because I don't think that like it would just put us in complete turmoil. Um, but like Wes said, this is one game. Like, let's win a few more and let's get back on track. But I do back Slot to do that, and I really hope he does, because that's the best case scenario for everyone.
Yeah, to be honest, the whole it's just surreal that we got into this point. Like, imagine when you were celebrating winning that league a few months back. If someone were to tell you that in November there would be people who would calling for Slot to be second. Now, not to give any names, of course, but I think it would be hard to believe, right? Like, what could have possibly changed that much in these in a few months? But yeah, that's how football works, I guess. And especially, even in August, I think when we signed, September was it when we actually got through with signing Isaac, and we had signed Ekitike, Wirtz, Kerkez, Frimpong. I think when you looked at that, you had maybe other expectations from the season, but obviously maybe it's only fair to expect things to settle a bit in a more natural way, and not necessarily to hit the ground running, for players to hit the ground running. But yeah, Ben, what are you? I mean, it's a weird question to ask, but considering what you've seen so far and what you know so far, what are your expectations from the rest of the season? Like, is top four still the minimum goal that you have?
Top four by minimum. Always is. You can't spend 500 million and then say top four is an achievement. We should have been fighting for the title. So yeah, to say top four is an achievement would be a disgrace on the standards of Liverpool FC. So yeah, top four minimum, and then do well in the FA Cup and the Champions League. Because we've got the squad. The squad's good enough to go deep in the cups. It's up to them to deliver on that though. Because they've shown how lackluster they can be when things go wrong. But in the cups, you can't do that, because at least in the league we're getting away with it. It's a 38 game season, so you can recover. If we do that in the knockout stages and we get caught out once, we're out. So I do hope they go deep in both Champions League, FA Cup. Even better if we win one. And with the final being in Budapest, I think Szoboszlai would put up his life on the line to get there. And so Kerkez. But yeah, it just depends on the momentum. Because I said a couple of weeks ago that the league. I said a couple of weeks ago the league's done. We should forget about the league. We're not going to win the league at all. That's a pipe dream now. Focus on getting the momentum going into the new year, and then focus on the Champions League and the FA Cup, because we can win those competitions. And we've seen it before, like in 2005. We had a poor season in Istanbul.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fair, and we've seen that in the Champions League, you don't necessarily have to perform well from start to finish to actually win it. We've seen it last season. I think that's the easiest example you can give, with PSG, who almost didn't qualify for the playoff round and then ended up winning it. So yeah, I think it's at this point, it's, as you said, building up a momentum and start to win games, get on a good run, and then you can obviously, you need to basically have a good day. And basically, when you're playing in the Champions League with the format that it is, you have to play well in the first match, and then in the second you can reassess and see how it goes. So that's how things are.
Just hope we beat Inter and Marseille and Carabao, then we don't have to go through the extra playoff games. That'll be a pain.
Yeah, that's also, and I'm actually curious to see us in the FA Cup, because it seems like it's a hit and miss. We either win it or we just go out in the first few rounds. There's no in between for us in the past few years, really. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, we get a good draw there as well. So yeah. It is going to be interesting. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, because we are going to be streaming quite a lot in the next 2 weeks. As we've said, we're playing on Wednesday, then on Saturday, then on Tuesday again. So there's a whole lot of football matches. There will be a whole lot of streams as well in that time frame. So make sure to stick close to the channel. Until then, thanks a lot to West, to Drew, to Ben for being here tonight. We are going to end the live stream. Thanks a lot to you, obviously, for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, be close to us, because we're going to be, as I said, be streaming quite a lot in the next 2 weeks. And you can finally sleep well tonight because you won a game. And yeah, that's all that we can ask, I guess. So until next time, up the Reds.